He was just standing there, staring at me, head slightly tilted, ears perked, and that look, deep, almost human. It felt like my dog was trying to tell me something. But what exactly? Have you ever had that feeling? That your dog is trying to communicate, but you just can't figure out what they want? The truth is, dogs are always talking to us. Most people just don't know how to listen. Today, you're going to learn what your dog is really trying to tell you with certain behaviors. And get ready, because some of these messages might surprise you and even touch your heart. 1. Staring deep into your eyes. When your dog locks eyes with you, looking deep into your soul, they're communicating on an emotional level that goes beyond words. What might seem like simple curiosity is actually one of the most powerful ways a dog expresses love. Studies show that during these moments, both the dog's brain and the human's release oxytocin, the love hormone, the same one shared between mothers and babies when they gaze at each other. It's a silent exchange that builds connection and a sense of belonging. This kind of eye contact is also how dogs tune into your emotional state. They're incredibly sensitive to how you feel. They can pick up on subtle changes in your facial expressions, breathing, tone of voice, and even body scent, which shifts with emotions like fear or sadness. So when your dog stares at you quietly, they might be asking, "Are you okay?" or simply saying, "I'm here with you." It's a moment of deep listening. No words needed. It's important to note that this is different from a challenging stare, which can happen between unfamiliar dogs. When it comes to a bonded pet and their person, the gaze is soft, steady, and often paired with relaxed body language. A calm tail, ears neutral or slightly perked, maybe a gentle wag. Recognizing and appreciating these moments is a beautiful step toward deepening your connection with your dog. 2. Lying at your feet even when there's plenty of space. Ever notice how your dog chooses to lie right at your feet even when there's a whole couch free? This behavior, often seen as just cute or quirky, actually carries deep emotional meaning. Lying at your feet is an instinctive way for dogs to feel secure and stay close to their pack leader. In the wild, dogs sleep huddled together for safety. So when your dog does this, they're saying, "I feel safe with you, and I want to protect you too." This gesture becomes even more meaningful during times of stress, sadness, or loneliness. If you're going through a tough moment and your dog suddenly starts lying at your feet more often, they're reacting to your emotional energy. Dogs can sense when the mood in the house changes, and sometimes this closeness is their way of offering calm, a quiet attempt to ease your anxiety with their steady presence. It's a natural, instinctive response that speaks volumes about their loyalty. Plus, lying at your feet helps your dog stay alert to your movements. It gives them a sense of control, allowing them to monitor you and be ready in case something seems off. This behavior shows that they don't just love you, they feel responsible for you. It's like they're saying, "I'm on duty. Nothing's going to happen to you while I'm here." 3. Deep sighs. When your dog lets out a long, deep sigh, often right after settling beside you, it's more than just physical relaxation. That sigh is often an emotional release. It's their way of saying, "Everything is okay here. I can finally rest." It's a clear sign they feel safe, loved, and comfortable in your presence. In a world full of unpredictable sounds and movements, this moment of peace reflects how much calm they find just being near you. But it's important to pay attention to the context. Not every sigh means contentment. Sometimes, if it's paired with restlessness, frequent position changes, ears back, or repetitive licking, that sigh could mean frustration or even sadness. Your dog might be trying to process emotions they don't quite know how to express in any other way. In these cases, it's worth taking a closer look at their environment to see if something might be bothering them. Deep sighs also serve a regulatory purpose. They help slow down the body, like hitting a reset button. By allowing your dog to have this moment without interruption or extra stimulation, you give them space to process their feelings, relax their body, and feel like they're in a place where they don't have to be on alert. It's a small action, but it says so much about how your dog feels around you. 4. bringing you their toys. When your dog shows up with a toy in their mouth and drops it at your feet, they're doing a lot more than asking to play. In dog language, this is an act of trust and connection. It's like they're saying, "This is mine, but I want to share it with you." Offering a toy is often symbolic. They're sharing something they value to show affection, respect, and a sense of belonging. This behavior can vary depending on your dog's emotional state. If they bring it with excitement, wagging tail, loose body, it usually means they want to have fun and interact. But if they offer it in a calmer, almost solemn way, the message might run deeper. They're expressing love, offering you something that represents your bond. Either way, the toy itself isn't the point, the relationship is. Ignoring this gesture can quietly affect your connection. When you accept the toy, even if you don't play with it right away, you're acknowledging your dog's emotional outreach. They feel seen, understood, and appreciated. In a healthy relationship, little rituals like this help reinforce mutual trust and emotional safety, making your life together more affectionate and in sync. 5. Following you around all the time. That furry shadow trailing behind you from room to room isn't just curious. When your dog follows you all over the house, yes, even into the bathroom, they're acting on instincts of protection, emotional bonding, and loyalty. In a dog's mind, the pack stays together, and you're their pack. Staying close is how they make sure everything's okay, that you're safe, and that they won't be left behind. This behavior is especially common in dogs with strong emotional bonds to their humans. Rescued dogs, for example, often develop this attachment as a response to their fear of abandonment. To them, every movement you make matters. If you get up, they get up. If you change rooms, they follow. What they're really saying is, "I don't want to lose you. I need to be with you." It's a clear sign of love, but it can also point to separation anxiety. For dog parents, this requires balance. It's important to appreciate their loyalty, but also teach them to feel safe when they're not right next to you. Creating moments of independence with interactive toys or cozy beds in different areas can help ease anxiety without damaging your bond. Because in a dog's world, love also means knowing the other is okay, even from a distance. 6. Resting their head on you. When your dog rests their head on you, your lap, your arm, or even your chest, they're building a direct bridge between their body and yours. This simple, gentle gesture is one of the clearest signs of trust and affection. Resting their head is their way of saying, "I need you. Let me stay here, just for a while." It's about emotional closeness more than physical comfort. This usually happens during quiet moments, when you're still, thinking, or maybe feeling down. That's when your dog quietly comes over and places their head on you. There's no demand, no expectation, just presence. They feel your emotions, and sometimes they try to absorb your pain, sadness, or fear with their own calm energy. It's their silent way of saying, "You're not alone." This physical contact also affects both of your heart rates. Studies show that touch between dogs and humans lowers stress, boosts feelings of well-being, and increases serotonin levels. So when your dog rests their head on you, they're not just offering comfort, they're also seeking it. A small gesture with enormous emotional power. If your dog could tell you how they feel, what would you do? The course linked below teaches you exactly that. How to understand their needs, how to guide them with kindness, and how to build a lifelong bond rooted in love. It's simple, made for people like you, who don't just want an obedient dog, you want a happy one. 7. Licking you out of context. When your dog suddenly starts licking you outside of playtime or feeding moments, it usually means something deeper is going on. Licking is a natural behavior for dogs, one they've used since puppyhood to bond with their mother and litter mates. When your dog does this to you, they're often trying to show affection, comfort you, or even help relieve your emotional tension. It's like they're saying, "I'm here, and I feel what you're feeling." This behavior often appears in sensitive moments. If you're crying, anxious, or just unusually quiet, your dog may sense that something's off, and their instinctive way to respond is through licking. These licks act like emotional touches, small gestures of deep empathy. Even if they don't fully understand why you're upset, they want to comfort you the only way they know how. with presence and affection. So the next time your dog gently licks your hand while you're lost in thought, or touches your face with their tongue in a quiet moment, don't pull away. Accept it. Embrace it. Because what they're trying to say is something words may never fully capture. I can tell you need me, and I'm here. 8. Yawning. When you yawn, you may have never noticed, but if you yawn and your dog yawns right after, it's not just coincidence. Science has shown that dogs yawn due to social contagion, just like humans do. Even more fascinating, the stronger the bond between dog and owner, the more likely the dog is to mirror your yawn. This shows empathy, emotional attunement, and a connection that goes beyond basic instinct. This behavior has roots in the long history of dogs living alongside humans. In this context, yawning is a kind of emotional reflection. When you yawn and your dog follows, it's like they're saying, "I'm in sync with you. What you feel, I feel too." It's a subtle but powerful emotional mirror. The closer you are, the more your dog tends to mimic you. Not just yawns, but stretches, expressions, even moods. Besides showing empathy, yawning can also be a self-soothing behavior. If your dog yawns in a new or stressful situation, they may be trying to calm themselves. So a yawn might mean emotional connection or a way to deal with stress. Pay attention to the moment, your surroundings, and how you feel too. It all helps decode what your dog is trying to say with this simple yet meaningful gesture. 9. Curling up or quietly licking their paws. This behavior is a red flag. When a dog starts curling up, avoiding eye contact, and obsessively licking their paws, they're expressing some kind of pain, emotional or physical. Unlike a relaxed dog who stretches out or lies comfortably, this one shrinks into themselves like they want to disappear. It's their way of saying, "I'm not okay, and I don't know how to deal with it." Paw licking can be a coping mechanism for anxiety, almost like emotional self-soothing. In some cases, it can turn into a compulsive habit, leading to wounds or inflammation. This behavior is often linked to loneliness, stress, changes in routine, or feeling ignored or confused. It's the silent cry of a dog who doesn't know how else to ask for help, but is trying in the only way they can. If you see your dog doing this, don't scold them. Observe with empathy. Try to understand what might be triggering it. Has something in the environment changed? Have you been more distant lately? Are they getting less attention or stimulation? The answer is often there. And sometimes just being more present, offering more affection and interaction is enough to start turning things around. Because for a dog, healing almost always begins with their human's heart. 10. Showing their belly but not to play. It's common to see a dog roll over and show their belly and think they're asking for belly rubs. And often, that's exactly what they want, but not always. In certain contexts, especially if it's accompanied by lowered ears, a tucked tail, or a tense expression, this is actually a sign of submission or appeasement. Your dog is saying, "I surrender. Please don't be upset with me." This behavior is more frequent in insecure dogs or those who've been punished in the past. Showing the belly in this case isn't an invitation to play. It's a plea for calm and understanding. When a dog does this silently, with a stiff body, they're trying to avoid conflict at all costs. They're putting themselves in the most vulnerable position possible, desperately signaling that they're not a threat. That's why it's crucial to read the context. If your dog shows their belly with a wagging tail, soft eyes, and playful energy, go ahead and shower them with love. But if they seem tense, respect their space. Step back gently, speak softly, and offer reassurance. Because in that moment, more than touch, what they truly need is peace, and you have the power to give them that. 11. Barking at you, then looking elsewhere. Sometimes your dog barks once or twice while staring at you, then immediately looks toward the door, the window, or the kitchen. That's not random. This is a very clear form of communication. Your dog is trying to call your attention to something, or get you to follow them. Dogs are experts at using their eyes and head to point. This isn't the same as a typical alert bark. It's not aggressive or panicked. It's shorter, more intentional. What they're saying is, "Look over there," or "Come with me." This kind of communication is especially common in dogs who have a strong bond with their humans because they trust that you'll understand them. It's their way of starting a conversation, and when you respond, the behavior tends to repeat and strengthen over time. Learning to recognize and respond to this type of bark can deepen your relationship with your dog. They'll realize they can talk to you and that you'll listen. That builds trust, security, and an even deeper emotional bond. So instead of ignoring it or getting annoyed, try following their gaze. See what they're trying to show you. Sometimes it's not just about food or a walk. Sometimes they just want you to understand them. Now that you know what these behaviors really mean, you might start seeing your dog in a whole new light. Maybe you'll realize they've been trying to tell you all of this for a long time, and only now, you're finally listening. And if this video helped you understand your dog better, drop a comment below sharing which behavior touched you most, or something you've seen your dog do at home. I read every message with care. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, do that now so you can keep learning how to strengthen this incredible bond between you and your dog. Because there are so many more signals dogs show us every day, and you can keep learning about them right now in the next video on screen.